Tuesday morning, almost 7:45 in the morning, and getting ready to be on the Wise Guys show on the Hebrew Nation Radio here in Salem. 2 hours I get to talk about Teshuvah College.
Good morning, welcome to the Hebrew Nation Morning Show. You are on with the Wise Guys. So good. Let's see, Samic, none. We've been talking about this for a long time, you know, which is just kind of crazy, but we didn't know there's some crazy woman out there actually doing this. It's Rebekah Garvin and her husband Isaac, with the passion that you seem and the vision that when I'm reading about you, it seems like your focus is not necessarily on the negative, it seems like your focus is on the positive.
Absolutely.
Did I just put words in your mouth?
No,
Sorry?
but yes, kind of, but you're saying what I mean to say, is that I want to find, we have differences, but I want to focus on things that we agree on. And I want to focus on the fact that most of us are concerned whether our children are going to stay in this and stay in covenant the rest of their life. Most of us want our kids to love this rhythm, love Yahuwah with all their heart, all their soul, all their mind, all their strength, all their everything. And I really believe that we can come together on that level to do this. I feel like the focus of the movement should start turning towards taking care of the needs of that generation. It will take people who are, Ruach filled, people who love Yahuwah with all their heart. It will take a certain kind of person. I've come from a closed structure. I don't like the closed structure.
No, I got that opinion. You're a hippie from a hippie, from strawberry fields on a mountain, growing organic foods.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have structure. So
I didn't say that. Will the world please know that I never said I didn't want to have structure.
okay, got it. But you do have Hebrew 101?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. The idea of being able to offer our Christian friends and family, people who are Israel, who don't know they're part of Israel, I would like to create a place that they feel a viable college for them to actually have on the plate when they go to choose a school for their kids. I feel like I got this on the counter 13.
I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that!
We've sold pretty much everything we own of value, bought a little RV, and the four of us are going to hit the road and connect the youth of this movement and build this college.
Now, is just for the biblical roots people, or is this for, you go to churches? And
well, I'm going to go anywhere that I'm invited. You've got to email my assistant Amber at info@teshuvahcollege.com. We're going to hit the road and we're going to pick spots, locations that are neutral locations, and then set up there and then invite the whole area, all the different Messianic Hebrew roots, Christians, anybody that wants to come to here. So it's in a neutral location. But if somebody wants to host us, I am so not opposed to that. That you don't have to have kids in your assembly to hear this and to care about this. You don't have to have kids yourself to care about this. So I want to make that really clear that Papa will provide. And so if I think that the only jobs out there available to me I have to sell my soul for, that is not the way of an Israelite who believes in Yahuwah and everything that he can possibly do for you. Granted, I'm going to grow in this. I'm going to learn more. I'm hoping to put around me advisors and people who have expertise in a lot of areas that I don't, so that I can guide this correctly with the spirit of Yahuwah in me. But I'm not beholden, and I know that he will provide. What does Yahshua say? He says, you worry about the things of the pagans do, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, but don't worry about that. Seek first the kingdom of Yahuwah, and all these things will be given to you. So if we're not going to teach our children and our young adults that is the most important thing, I have nothing to say to them if I can't say that. I'm not going to preach something that he wouldn't have preached. I'm not going to say you have to sacrifice your soul and give your heart over. John Eldridge teaches that worship is what you give your heart over to and trade for life. So if you're going to give your heart over to a pagan company, Isaac's going to talk. Woohoo!
Okay, here we go.
Teshuvah College, where a man can be a man.
Nice! What does that mean to you?
Well, again, the picture of Teshuvah College, try not to think your local community college or state college, not only with the variety of ages and the Hebrew approach, but also add to that trade school. This college is going to have a farm, organic gardens. It's going to have commercial kitchens and deli and storefronts and it's going to be outside the box in a lot of areas.
So we tend to think of education strictly from a Greek, Western, Greco-Roman kind of mindset rather than hands-on. I know some of my children are that way. Hey, school wasn't their thing, but put them in front of something to fix. Oh yeah, they're all over it. So that's a great idea.
That's a Hebrew approach.
And look at all the little boys, in classrooms that are so jittery and trying to jump in out of their seats, and they call it ADHD, but it's just little boys wanting to be boys. And do what boys do. Bring it on. Let's incorporate that.
I like it. Bring it on. And this guy looks like he belongs on a surfboard or a snowboard. That or in the movies.
For one, I know that Yahovah, my vision is Yahovah for one is not poor. I also know that in Israel, they're putting together a Ben Yosef Congress for Shavuot, and they're trying to establish an actual nation for us, which would also include funding available, and there would be some funding from a big entity like that. There's going to be things like, people donating for scholarships and stuff like that, but also I really feel it should be sustainable. So the idea of the Lots of Matzah Bakery, the idea of the organic gardens, the idea of this system supporting itself, I think is also will come into play with that. I am so excited to work for the King. This is how I'm feeling, as I'm working for the King and he's going to pay me to do that, and I think he's going to do that for everybody who works at the college as well. I don't envision volunteer, I don't envision this free, I don't envision people not investing into this. I feel there's enough money in this movement, there's enough people out there to care about this and to actually make it happen. We do it for other things. One of the most important things to us is our children, right? And their future. And we care about the next generation. Yehovah says over and over and over in the Torah, tell the next generation, tell them, remind them, get this in their heart to stay. And I feel like there's enough parents in this movement to say, wow, and this is important to me, to get rid of the second car, to whatever. One of my major goals with this college is to have the field and everything revolving around the feasts of Yehovah and around his calendar. So that's one of the things that is really unique about this college. You come in as a theater major, and all the things that you develop and all the dramas you do, everything that the scripts that you create would be revolving around the next feast. So the subject matter of this college is hugely different.
Okay, but wait a minute. That was a question that I asked you earlier, which is a
tougher... I know, but you interrupted me.
Yeah, I know. I do that really well. But that is...
Sorry, I'm just being honest.
You ought to be honest.
You're right in.
Yeah, you fit.
Papa needed a certain type of person to be the first generation, to be the first ones to go through the wall. He needed a person who was willing to make tough decisions, to be stiff-necked, to divide, to leave. People who were capable of doing that were required for the work that needed to be done by the first generation. But like Rebekah says, that's not, the second generation is a different story. They don't have to do that work. They're not going to have to make those same tough choices, and they have a different set of opportunities.
To lose identity. Just like how within all evangelical churches, what they're fighting for is identity.
Not just a movement, because movements go away. But the nation, we're the Hebrew nation. Come on, we're Israel.
There's nothing like this, right? That you know of.
I'm done. Wow, that was a ride. They were so fun. It was fabulous. I think that went great. Oh, I can't wait to see Teshuvah College go viral on Facebook. Oh. Isaac and I just spent 2 hours on the Hebrew Nation radio with the wise guys this morning talking about Teshuvah College and inviting Israel to join us in building it for the next generation coming out of the nation. It was a crazy 2 hours with, let's see, there was Rollin and Rick and Gus and Mike who called in. They were nuts and they grilled me, and it was so fun this morning, and I hope to do it again and be on several other radio shows throughout the course of this push to gather Israel to build this college for our kids. I'm going to just recap real quickly. You can go to Teshuvah College at our Facebook page and like it and stay tuned for stuff. You can go to teshuvahcollege.com. You can email us at info@teshuvahcollege.com. And there's a development group on Facebook to join. There's a Congress, a youth Congress coming up August 2nd through 9th, and a whole bunch of stuff. We're going on tour right now. We're going to travel the country, and we want to talk to you and bring you on board. So just wanted to recap that. Angie, who called in, has actually bought us learnlivetell.info, and so that will bring you to us. So hope to see you on the road, and hope that you will consider joining us in developing this and building something together to offer the King upon his return.